Hi guys. We continue our journey in the quarter of mutation, and this is a very stressed part of the year. We know that there is a lot of pressure to transform, and we can really feel the pressure get stronger and stronger until the beginning of the slowing down that we have in the end of the cycle. So now we have 2 or 3 weeks that are very intensive and will force us to make another effort, the best we can, to bring what needs to, bring out what needs to be looked at in our journey. And for this week of neutrinos, we have some willpower that will help us to keep on this transformation journey. Interesting to see the Trickster, the gate of the Trickster connects with the coming to meet the 44th gate that Jupiter sits in. So we are going to have the sun very, very empowered, and we all will feel this global conditioning pattern for, I think, 2 or 3 days until Jupiter moves. So we have the energy of the ego, and we have, I looked at the Jinkies. It's so beautiful to see the 26th gate that Ra calls it the egoist. It's really a very strong gate, very, very proud gate. But it's interesting to see that the pride is the shadow of this gate. And if we look to the gift is artfulness. And then we have the city, the high potential is invisibility. And for me, I looked at the whole idea of this channel that is transmitting to the tribe and intuitively transmitting and selling the product or selling the message and using all these manipulations and tricks to do that. But if we look at the higher level of this channel and this gate, yes, so this channel is actually called the channel of surrender. And when this ego power, this proud power of the 26th gate surrender to the splenic awareness of the moment and knowing how to come to meet the other in a very artful way, then the possibility or the high potential will be invisibility. And the way I understand invisibility, it really connects with what Deepak Chopra talks about in his book, The Way of, I don't know how it's called in English, just a minute. I need to see how it's called in English, because I have it in Hebrew, of course. The Way of the Wizard. So The Way of the Wizard is a book by Deepak Chopra, and he talks there about Merlin and King Arthur when he was a child. It's very interesting. And the whole thing is about what a magician is. And actually, the way that a magician is, or the wizard, yes, does their magic is totally surrendering to the laws of the universe. And the splenic awareness is actually supposed to be very tuned with these energies of the universe. That the instinct, we are talking about the stream of instinct, the instinct that the splenic awareness feels can guide these very strong willpower energy, and then we can create this invisible trick that it's not I'm doing, yes, not the egoist is doing, but this surrender of this egoist to the laws of the universe. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure, but I think that that this energy of the channel of surrender is also called, I think from the integral human design, I think they'd call it alchemist or something like that. I think so, I'm not sure, but it all goes together. So there is a lot of magic in this channel, and the potential, the very high potential of this egoism is really to be a magician, to be a wizard, and to surrender to the laws of the universe and transmit really what needs to be transmitted. What's this tribe in front of us really need to hear now? So this is very, very beautiful to look at it. And of course, the other part of this Sun Earth neutrino blueprint this week is the 45th gate, the gate of the gatherer, that is also in the gene keys called cosmic communion, which is very, very nice and amazing. And this gate again can be in the shadow, very, very dominant, seeking for dominance. Yes, when it's in open throat, it's seeking for dominance. But when it is in the gift, in the gift mode, the gift energy is synergy, and then it goes to the communion. And I really feel this. I have a very close friend. She's a manifestor. She has the money line. She actually has the transmitter and the money line. They are not conscious, these two channels, and it's such a difference when you have these channels defined consciously or unconsciously. In her case, it's unconscious, and I can really feel the way that she supports and she invites me to educate the tribe, and it's really beautiful to do that. And I don't feel, I mean, she is dominant, of course, her design is very dominant, but I don't feel her doing this consciously. I can feel the energy is dominant. There is this impact, but the impact is about educating the tribe, is about transmitting the correct information in the moment in order to empower, in order to support and empower. And I really, really love these energies when they work correctly. So I could feel these transits in the morning because I have both the 21st gate and the 44. So I could feel the Sun Earth in my bones. So I just jumped out of my bed and went to the video to educate my tribe. Okay, so what else do we have this week? So the nodes are moved to the 4th line. So we have a lot of networking, and these are 2 gates of the Sphinx. So the direction is going to come from the network. The 4th line stays with us until the 17th of December. Mercury is really, I mean, it still retreats, and this retreat is very, very difficult. I mean, I personally really feel it in so many ways, and it's not easy. The end of this retreat will be in the 6th of January. Then it will begin its way back to the correct direction. And now it is in the 11th gate, in the 4th line, which is the teacher. So it's interesting. Yeah, I couldn't do anything else, just come to the computer and do this. We can see Saturn in the 10th gate until the 22nd of January. So all these issues of self-love, of loving being in the world or not. Yes, love or hate, self-love or self-hate, love or hate being in the world, and of course all the 6 archetypes of behavior that we're going to go through. So now it's the investigator, inferiority complex, and all types, all these kind of things are in the first line until the 22nd of January. And Pluto has moved again to the 4th line, the 4th line of the gate of ambition of the Mary Maiden. This is enlightenment, endarkenment, and until it will be in this 4th line, this very mystical and strong line, until the 3rd of January. So these are the movements, the main movements that happened. In the 11th, we're going to have like 10 or 11 hours of judgment. That also, if we want to transcend this judgment, the next step is integrity, and I'm all for it. So yes, we can judge and see what needs to be corrected, but in order to be more in integrity and to ourselves and to others. And of course, because of this global conditioning pattern of the transmitter, these 2 gates, the 18th and also the 50th gate that Mars is now in, will be strong. We will feel them strongly. And then in the 12th of December, the moon will enter the 57th gate for like 10 hours, something like that, and we will have the perfected form. And it's not only the perfected form, it's also a very strong G center with 3 gates of the Sphinx. We have the nodes, and we have Jupiter that leaves the 44th gate and moves into the 1st gate. And it's interesting because Jupiter is entering also the quarter of transformation, of mutation, yes? So we have the 10th gate that is part of the quarter of mutation, talking about self-love and behavior and all these archetypes of love. And then we have the archetypes of behavior and self-love. And then we have Jupiter that enters now the gate of the expression of the self, the creative, that is the beginning of the quarter of transformation. So this transformation energy is very, very strong. Also, we have Pluto there, so it's a very strong mutative and transformative time. So the G center, this G center with all these activations will be very strong for 10 hours. And then, after the 57th gate, the gate of the gentle, we have the moon in the gate of continuity, the gate of duration, and again, we have the channel of transformation. As you remember, we had this channel as a global conditioning pattern in the beginning of this year, and now we are in the end of this year, and we had it many times. When we have Pluto in the 54th gate, and this channel will be again and again and again in all kinds of configurations. So we will experience it again next year, of course, but it will not be, I think it will not be a global conditioning pattern. So we are now experiencing another version of this strong imprint of this year. It was a very transformative year. And now it's the grand finale in the quarter of transformation. So we really need to grab every energy, every fuel for transformation that we can. We also have Mars that jumped into the game of the gate of the game player, the risk taker. So we really need to be very tuned in and to be anchored in our strategy and authority in order not to jump into the wrong risks in order to transform or to, push ourselves high in the ladder. And when we have the egoist and the gatherer in the Sun Earth, the drive for transformation, for tribal transformation. This is all, this stream of instinct and the outlet to the throat. So we really need to be, we are supported by these energies. They're supposed to help us, but only according to our design, to our strategy and authority. So beware, because Mars does things in a very immature way. And it's true that it's mutative, but it's also very risky when we're talking about the 28th gate. Mercury. So that's the week that we are going to have. And this is the time of the year that the transformation, again, we are pushed into transformation. We are invited and respond to many tools that come to us in order to push us and help us and empower us and support us in this transformational journey. And yes, we have all the potentials. We can turn into into flying dogs. So it all depends. It all depends on our willpower this week, and that's it. We really need to. I think that the bottom line is really to be anchored in our strategy and authority in order to get the correct support. This is a week of support of the willpower, support of the tribal king, and we are getting closer to the end of this cycle, so we can really use all the help that we can get. See you next time. Bye bye.